200 years, people will look back on this particular period and say to themselves, how did those people at that time just allow all these amazing creatures to vanish? But it would be very little use in me or anybody else exerting all this energy to save the wild places if people are not being educated into being better stewards than we've been. If we all lose hope, there is no hope. Without hope, people fall into apathy. There's still a lot left that's worth fighting for.
Who else but Nicky Moms?
Believe it or not, we're using energy faster than we can produce it. And most of the energy that we are using comes from sources that are stinky, dangerous, and hazardous to the environment and to us. Eventually, we're gonna run out. There's gotta be a better way. There is!
Renewable energy is brought to you by the future, where air is clean, grass is green, and polar bears have plenty of ice. That's not exactly what I meant.
Energy, it does work for us. As heat, it cooks our food and warms our homes, schools, and laboratories. As electricity, it powers our lights and our computers. As chemical bonds in our fuel and batteries, it makes our cars, trains, planes, and this forklift go. Welcome to the Planet Earth Simulator of Science. It's a car. Just go with me on this. Let's say this car represents our planet, the Earth. If you've ever gotten into a car, even on a winter day, you know it gets warm or even hot. In a car, you can usually let some of the heat out by rolling down your windows. Light from the sun passes through the glass, warms the seats, and then the glass in the window reflects heat down back into the car, holding in extra heat. This is why people grow plants in glass greenhouses. You know, very few greenhouses are really greenhouses. So these windows are like the gases in the atmosphere. We call them greenhouse gases. For a very long time, the amount of energy coming in from the sun, being held by the atmosphere and going out into space, has been about the same. The heat energy has been in balance. But with burning fossil fuels over the last couple hundred years, we've increased the amounts of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. These extra greenhouse gases are trapping a little bit of extra heat. On Earth, we can't roll down the window. The world is getting warmer. This extra heat energy in the atmosphere is changing our weather patterns. We're getting intense heat waves, floods, and rising sea levels. We're seeing changes in whole ecosystems of plants and animals. Take our good friend, the polar bear. Oh, hi, Pete. It's not just affecting you guys. Thousands, if not millions, of plant and animal species around the world are facing extinction because of global warming.
Who else but Nicky Mines?
Water is the basis of life, and only a tiny share of all the water on Earth is fresh and renewed by the water cycle.
If you took all the water in the world and put it into a gallon jug, less than 1 teaspoon of it would be available to us.
We're overusing it. We're overtapping rivers, and we're overpumping groundwater.
We live at a time in history where over 1 billion people don't have access to safe drinking water, and over 3 billion people have no access to sanitation. Water is a global issue, but it's also a very local issue. We forget that we live on a hydrosphere and that all of our water resources are connected. Water that runs in the Ganges could also end up in the Hudson, or could fall over the plains of Africa, or could make a cup of tea in the Queen's Palace.
To support the average American lifestyle today takes about twice the global average.
The Great American Lawn is a great example of one of the myriad of ways that we take water for granted. We can't continue to flaunt our water.
Agriculture is something that we really need to give thought to.
70% of all the water we extract from rivers, lakes, and aquifers goes to irrigated agriculture. To some extent, we're using some of tomorrow's water to meet today's food demands.
Large number of people I talk to, when they learn that the Colorado, the mighty force of nature, no longer reaches the sea, there's a look of shock in most people's faces. At the Delta, it literally runs dry.
We are using and abusing our water resources in ways that are completely unsustainable. And unless we think about it that way, and we start taking action at an individual level, then I don't really see how we'll be able to overcome so many of the issues that we're going to be faced with in the next 50 years. And this is our time in history to do something about it.